One of the biggest challenges that you're going to face as a new Scrum Master is dealing with resistance. This could be resistance from a product owner, from a team member, or even stakeholders. Today, I'll be sharing a story about when I was met with resistance from a product owner on my team. Imagine starting a new job, and the one person that you should be working most closely with, the product owner, is the one that presents you with resistance. This is exactly what happened to me in one of my previous positions. To give you some background, before I started on the team, the product owner was operating as both the product owner and the Scrum Master. There were some cuts in budget, and rather than hiring a new Scrum Master, they went for about a year with just having the product owner meet these two roles. Since the product owner was in full control, he had the ability to do whatever he wanted within the sprint. This meant changing priorities mid-sprint, really having no clear direction for the team, and this was met with a lot of resistance from the team members. Because there was no clear direction and the goal could be changed mid-sprint, the developers were extremely frustrated, and I could tell that they had no protection from distractions. I knew that early on, my job was to learn more about the product and some of the challenges that the team was facing. During my first meeting with the product owner, it was apparent that he was happy with the way that things were working currently. I could also tell that the product owner wasn't very happy that I was there. They were happy with how things were going and the fact that they could change priorities mid-sprint. The first thing that you'll want to understand is, where is the resistance coming from? Is this from lack of understanding, fear, or something else? Once you understand where the resistance is coming from, you can work on the next steps. After speaking more with the product owner, I started to understand what was going on with the project. One of the things that would happen is frequently executives would come to the product owner and tell them that there was some type of report that needed to be added. What this made me understand was that the product owner wanted to have some type of flexibility if there were any types of changes that would happen within the sprint. Another part of the fear was fear of losing control. The product owner was wondering, now that there's all of a sudden a Scrum Master, does this mean that it changes the priorities and when things will actually be done? I let the product owner know that we would all be working on our goals together. This shouldn't be an us versus them mentality. We talked through the need to have flexibility and what that would look like as we would negotiate during the sprint. I helped the product understand that if there were changes in the middle of the sprint, this could impact our sprint goal, so this is something that we didn't want to do on a regular basis if possible. And one of the biggest compromises that the product owner realized they had to make was, if there were some new things that were brought up that needed to be added into the sprint, that meant that some things would need to be taken out. That wasn't always the case, but it was always a negotiation. This was important so we could actually reach our sprint goal, and it was also important so we could protect the team, because the last thing we wanted was for our development team to get burnt out. And when this went from more of a command and control to an open conversation, this would help build trust within the team. A third thing that I did when dealing with resistance was I sought out support. I talked to my manager, and I also talked to other people on the team. What this helped me do was understand more about how the product owner operated and problems that they had in the past and how they were able to compromise as a team. By having that understanding, I was able to better approach the product owner and try to come up with some better results so that we could come up with a compromise. Lastly, if you're dealing with resistance, you need to have patience and also persistence. It wasn't an overnight change, and it's never an overnight change when you're dealing with trying to implement something new. Oftentimes in the beginning, I would come to a daily scrum and find out that the team was working on something completely different than what we had talked about the day before. I had to do two things. First, I needed to talk to the development team and let them know if there were changes that were happening that they should push back with the product owner, or at least have some kind of negotiation. And the other thing was that they needed to bring me into the conversation, so they had to let the product owner know that any changes would have to deal with both the development team and also the Scrum Master. Then I had to talk to the product owner. I let them know that we had talked about this previously, and it was important for me to be a part of these different conversations. We talked about the importance of communication and prioritizing. And after time, we saw some really positive changes within the team. The team started working together as one unit so we could actually deliver on our product goals. We also no longer had rifts between the product owner and the rest of the team. And as a result, the team started to have more trust with the product owner, and they were able to openly share what they thought about the product and give feedback to the product owner. What started off as a really difficult relationship and resistance with the product owner turned into a really great working relationship, and this product owner is still one of my trusted colleagues to this day. I hope this video helped you understand how to overcome resistance. If you have any questions, feel free to drop them in the comments below. Good luck on your journey and let me know how it goes. If you want to practice your skills as a Scrum Master, check out our Scrum Immersion program. It's a 7-week program and we deal with challenges like this so you can overcome them and see how to have success on your project. I also offer one-on-one coaching for a more customized approach. Thanks so much for joining.